Well, Mary, this is another one of my shade gardens. This is probably the most maintained because it's the closest to the house. And I have many different varieties of plants in here besides the hostas. I have companion plants like the corabells. I have many different corabells and a stilbe, and here's a purple one that's in bloom over here now. I have bleeding hearts. I have probably, I think, 5 different varieties of bleeding heart. I have the chartreuse, I have the plain pink one, I have a dark red with a dark stem. I have the white. These are all white that are back here. I also have Jack in the Pulpit. And Jack in the Pulpit showed up one day. And it's a nice plant and it's fun to have. Also seeds itself, and I will find it in many different places. So yeah, it's like the good and the bad.
How many hosta varieties do you have?
The varieties, I used to have, I have keep track of all of them in a log, and I had 950 at one point, but the winter was so bad, I lost several varieties over the winter. I'm probably at about 930, 940 now, somewhere in that variety.
And then you even label your plants too, don't you?
I do, especially I do the daylilies and I do the hosta. Some of the other stuff I don't label, but I find that these are the best markers. They're a stainless steel, and then I use a Brother waterproof label on it. And most of these labels have been in for like 10, 12 years or more.
And they don't fade?
No, they stay just like that. The only thing that happens to them is the deer will stomp on them sometimes and bend them. I can bend them right back. So
Now, do you have some ferns in here too?
I have Japanese painted fern, and I love the color of the Japanese painted fern. And I do have the big ostrich, or the fern that's out in the woods fern. I have it along the side of the shed where I keep it contained as much as possible. Otherwise it goes everywhere. I'm always having to cut it back.
What is that really pretty ground cover that you have over on the hillside there?
That's geranium. That's the perennial geranium. And I think I have probably 4, maybe 5 varieties of that. But this is the easiest to maintain. And this is in the center here. There's some ground cover. It's called lamium. And there's some along the edge over here too. That's used for filler. You know, and a lot of times you have to be careful with it. It will get away from you, and I'll find it in a lot of different places, and it's like, yep, I don't want you there. You've got to come out of here. So that's the beauty of ground cover. I've tried several different ground covers. They don't always work for me, and I also find that slugs like the ground covers. I'm always having to try and kill slugs out of the ground cover.
So do you have trouble with slugs with all of your beautiful hostas?
Yes, of course. You have hostas, you're going to have slugs. I do the ammonia drench. That's early in the spring, and you drench around when they're just coming up, and that helps keep the population down. And also, Sluggo is a good bait for the slugs, but we've had so much rain, I haven't been able to use it. If you come out and with your spray bottle and you get right down in there, you can find them right down in the crown, and I just spray that ammonia drench on them. It doesn't hurt the hosta at all, but it'll get rid of the slugs.
Do you have to worry about the leaves burning if it's hot when you're spraying?
Not really, because most of them are in the shade. And then Mary, I wanted to show you, there's some of my favorites. There's Spilt Milk is right there, Fragrant Bouquet. I have one called Fire and Ice, which is a small one down here. And I love Wee. It's just such a fun name, and it's got the real rippled edges, and it just goes all over everywhere. And one of my favorites is Rainbow's End, and it has such a beautiful color combination. And I also have big hostas. Sunpower, my Sunpower is like huge. I have the Empress Wu. She hasn't reached proportions like everybody says it's going to, but I do have some that are really big. Key West, that's a beautiful gold that's really tall and real cascadey leaves on it. That's very pretty. And it also puts out several seedlings. I do have a lot of seedlings off of it, and they're gold and green, but most of them are gold and they're really pretty.
What do you do with the seedlings when they come out?
Try to find a place for them, usually. My sister came up one year and she took seedlings from and named all her grandchildren. So she has a garden of my seedlings that just have her grandchildren's names on them. It's kind of fun.
Okay, now here's a question for you. Are there any hostas that are maybe your least favorite?
My least favorite? Well, that would be possibly this one, although it's a beautiful one. It is a slug magnet. Miracle Lemony, I think is the name of it, is a small one that was hybridized to have a yellow flower. And it's kind of a hard grower. It's an okay little plant, but the slugs really like it too. So anything that really attracts the slugs, I'm not as crazy about.
So do you ever come out here and sit in this area? I see that you've got kind of a seating area.
Are you looking at my bench? We brought this bench back from South Carolina several years ago, and I put it there, and that tree was much smaller. And I garden, I don't always look, and I don't pay attention. And I came out one day and I looked, and it's like, uh-oh. I tried to move the bench. The tree has grown around it. There is no moving that bench. It's there permanently.